Welcome to You Know What, the podcast for you that dispels the myths and BS in the fitness industry whilst leveling up your A game in everyday life. We are your hosts, Nick Finch and Dan King. You know what? Welcome to another podcast. Dan, I hear you have a random fact for us today.
I've got a fantastic one. It's actually a little bit more of an activity one. So you're ready for this? You've got to do something with it. It's impossible to swallow saliva 5 times in a row. But are you actually swallowing saliva?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
I just did 5.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not swallowing saliva. I'm just like swallowing.
But it's a bit like ASMR, isn't it?
Everyone's just tuned off from the pod now. Yeah, that's my interesting fact. So if you can do it, let me know. It's like you can't lick your own elbow. I can't do that.
Well, I mean, I know someone who can.
You got a long tongue.
Did you know your foot is as long as your forearm?
Yes, I did know that. And this is your height.
And this is your... Wait, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's my interesting fact. I actually found that from a TikTok, a really like weird TikTok. It was like, this is what you can't swallow 5 times.
This is why you don't go on TikTok.
I could have some really weird facts, but I try and avoid them. There's certain ones that I feel like I save to send to people.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that I just don't come on. But yeah, I've got an interesting topic area to talk about today. And the key bit is going to be, what is your opinion on get ready with me videos and what I eat in a day videos?
So, mate, I don't have a clue what you mean.
So you want me to explain these?
Please,
so these videos have been circulating for the last few years now. They kind of surfaced during lockdown when people kind of wanted to showcase exactly what they were eating, kind of what their diet looks like. And get ready with me videos are more kind of your beautician influencers who are doing their makeup whilst they're talking. These videos in a fitness sense and a health and fitness sense are more videos of people prepping their food and then being like, what I eat in a day to gain muscle, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the same thing is like a get ready with me video. This is what I'm wearing to go see, I don't know, Prada. I don't know, something along those lines. Now, these videos for me, in my opinion, I don't think are overly beneficial to Gen Pop. Firstly, from the what I eat in a day, that's kind of what I want. What I eat in a day videos are very well structured to the individual. And I think a lot of people, it's good to get ideas, but don't get the idea you're going to get the same results off the same diet from that person. That's what I'm interested in. So if someone came to you and turned around and went, this is what I eat in a day. I eat granola with some Greek yogurt, and then I have chicken, rice, and broccoli, and then I also have something else later on. This is my diet to gain muscle. What would your opinion be of that?
What would my reply be?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's good. See, that's also how I feel about these videos.
Yeah.
I feel like they're videos that you kind of go, that's cool, lovely. And I think, yes, from a positive standpoint, they're very inspirational for people.
If you got someone who's in phenomenal shape, which you sometimes, you get quite a few of them online.
Me and my peak physique.
Yeah, obviously Dan's up there. Then obviously people are going to listen to it and go, oh yeah, okay, I want to share like that, so I'm going to follow that diet exactly. But yeah, no, it's nothing like...
I say for food inspiration, it's good, but I went delving into the comments. The comments. And everyone's like,
doing that?
Huh? I
You
do.
like doing
TikTok comments are fun, man. They're so much fun. Like, if you can get into somebody's comments and just start ruffling through them, the best ones that don't have any replies, because they're always the really kind of like, ooh, I don't know how they've let that one slide. But anyway, I went into the comments of a few of these influencers. Primarily like female influencers tend to do this. Some males do, but I haven't seen it so much. It's more of kind of like a female orientated area. When you type in what I eat in a day, there's a lot of female reels come up. And again, I'm not being sexist, do it yourself. But the comments were basically saying that were like, oh my God, I'm so inspired by your diet. It's going to help me lose so much weight. And I'm like, I love that. But I do think people can get fixated on the way that people diet. For example, the chicken, rice and broccoli craze. Yes, I eat it every single day, but I eat it because I know the nutrient profile. A lot of people will eat it because they see jacked bodybuilders suddenly putting on mass and getting wham.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that a bad thing though?
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I think it has to be directed towards your goals. I think a lot of people forget the personal side of things.
Yeah.
And people go with, oh my God, they're doing this, so I'm going to do this.
People are looking for leadership.
They are.
They're looking for someone that is in phenomenal shape saying, this is what I do. And then you're going to listen to them because it's like, it's easier for you to then get on with your day, listen to this person, follow their advice and and then carry on with the rest of your day. To do it yourself requires a lot more like responsibility, ownership of it and thinking about it. This is why clients, like, obviously they want a PT for many reasons. Like, some want it for having a mate, basically, support, like knowing there's someone there.
Yeah.
You know, some people want it so then they can leave and then do it themselves. I think every client should have, you know, some level of ownership of the process. Otherwise, they're never gonna be able to do it on their own. Do you know what I mean?
I've got another one that I can throw at you. Workout videos, but being like, come with me for my quad workout. You know, and people start doing their quad workouts, and
this is more TikTok stuff.
It is more TikTok stuff, but it's very now. It's happening now. Yeah. What's your opinion on people plastering their own workouts? I saw today on TikTok when I was doing some research. Again, TikTok, I know. But this guy was doing, here's my bicep burner circuit. Try this at home. Save. I'm like, I know it's for clicks, but you don't need to do a circuit to do biceps. And again,
this is so old though. It's not relevant.
It's not.
This has been since the start of social media.
Yeah.
Like if you want a starter pack to be an online fitness coach, like in the last 10 years, all you got to do is post you doing a bicep workout or a squat workout and saying, I do this.
This is my 5-minute ab blaster.
And like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, what now?
Do you remember what was his name? William Lee, the guy who goes, Kings. Do you remember him?
Oh, Kings.
Yeah, Kings. Kings, if you want to work your chest, do this. And he poke his pec with like a pen or something while he's all baby oiled up.
Poking it up.
I haven't seen anything from him recently, maybe because I did block him.
I like the guy who has, what is it? He's I don't know if he's a physio or something, but he always has hot ladies in yoga pants, and then he in fact, I think they're half naked. I think they got like pants on, but like the skin's exposed, and he paints the muscle on.
Oh yeah, I know who you're on about. Again, this is actually like for educational purposes, genuinely.
But well, you say that, but he uses it.
He uses it as sex appeal, doesn't he?
He knows he gets the engagement, so he has the woman like literally like squatting in front of the camera with almost naked, but with like the painting of the muscles on it, so you can see him moving.
You can see him moving, yeah.
And he's like slapping it, like touching it and moving around.
Yeah, see, that's a little bit kind of like, whoa, like a little bit too far. It's not like I'm about to get moles in, but like, moles, right, you're going to be wearing a bikini. I'm now going to draw on your hamstrings, and I'm going to slap the back of your hamstring every single time you do it.
TikTok's wild.
It is mad, isn't it? But again, it's for engagement. It's for engagement. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that, because I do think Get Ready Me's are great. You know, people are being inspirational. They're talking about their stories. It gives them an outlet for it. But I think you don't want to fixate on what someone else is doing to then alter your own way of doing things.
It's hard, man. I think if you're a role model for people or leader, like it kind of helps, I think, in some way.
I agree.
People, but
I'm just playing devil's advocate with this one, because I'm you know, I can see both sides of it.
If you've already got like 1 million followers and stuff, you can post that stuff and loads of people are gonna love it and they're gonna try it out. But when you're like just starting out, which most people are, it's like, and what?
Yeah,
like it's hard, but you have to go through the motions to like to get to that place where you can help a lot of people with it.
Anyone new to social media. I mean, anyone new to social media, sorry to butt in, but anyone new to social media who watches this and is wanting to grow their account, you have to learn what's hitting. You have, I'll be brutally honest, you've got to do trending shit. Like when you first start out, you do. And a lot of my content...
50 grams of protein.
That's not trending.
50 grams of protein.
That was, you know, I was clever with that because that came in a gap, and that's why it did so well. Because as much as, and I found it really interesting that I get over 10K views just for posting on my Fitness Pal screenshot. Like, how does that work? How does that work? But yeah, anyway, I've got to go on to the next thing, which I'm really interested about, and it is around the food area. Scaremongering in supermarkets. So
you talked to me about it, because I remember the one guy who was going around food in the supermarkets and saying,
Tonic Health.
This is bad for you.
Yeah.
You can't have this. It's got pesticides on it. Yeah, that's the guy you're talking about, right?
Yeah, there's loads of them. There's loads of people doing it now. It's becoming ever more present. Like, there's a guy called Eddie Abdu, whatever his name. He's a bodybuilder, pro bodybuilder, was on stage with like Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, stuff like that. But he's been going around a lot. He's like, don't eat this. This is shit. And like pointing at, what was it? Oh, what was he did the other day? It was like some kind of meat product. He was like, don't eat this. This is shit. I can't remember what it was.
Is it pork related? Normally
no, he said, don't eat bread. Eat sweet potato instead. So don't have sandwiches. Sandwiches are bad for you. You must eat sweet potato.
Why did he say? What was his reasoning?
He just said because of like some like... They always do it. They pick up on one chemical compound and go, this in high doses is really bad for you, or this will spike your insulin in this way.
It's annoying because he's taken like legitimately, potentially, you know, sweet potatoes could be better than sweet potatoes, but he's done it in a way that doesn't really give you the reason.
No.
Like, for example, like there's less nutrients in wheat than there is sweet potato.
Yeah.
You know, wheat is not a highly nutritious crop compared to like foods that you can pick out of the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's arguably he's kind of on the right track, but he's just using the controversial element and not actually helping his audience. Because now you're not being educated, so like no why, you know. I think a sandwich is fine.
I think a sandwich is fine.
Yeah,
hands down. I love it. You know what? I had my first sandwich in like a year.
Yeah.
The other day, and I tell you
I think it's underrated.
I think a sandwich is underrated.
Yeah.
Wholemeal bread, bit of cheese, bit of ham, bit of mayonnaise. Simple as you like. Got a little bit of protein in there. I mean, I did 50 grams in bread the other day, and I found out there's so much more protein in bread than you think there is.
Yeah, of course.
But I think this is the thing. We need to provide useful information, and then if you're going to say that, provide a decent alternative or two alternatives. People can't just load up their cupboards all the time with sweet potatoes. They are the biggest ball ache for falling out of a cupboard.
People are going to hate me for this, those that love that kind of thing, right? But I'd say even chicken slices are underrated. You'd be surprised. I mean, I know it's processed. I know there's other stuff in it as well. But like, if you're really that rushed and you want convenience food, chicken slices will get you a good amount of protein, mate. You know what
gets me about this whole ultra processed foods debate is ultra processed food. Yes, they are bad for you. We all know they're bad for you. But people will have more of a complaint about chicken breast slices or sliced ham than they will about having a Cadbury's chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. At least you're getting some form of protein from the processed foods that you're not getting from the chocolate bar. Yes, they say they make it, but if you look at the list of ingredients again on a chocolate bar, there's more in that than there is your processed meats.
Yeah.
And people are going shebang.
Mate, I always say the biggest problem isn't you eating processed foods. It's you haven't got the time to go and prepare yourself a highly nutritious lunch.
Agreed.
You know, you do have time. The biggest problem is that you're not allowing yourself time.
Mm-hmm.
That's more important than the fact that you're going out for lunch and eating whatever you find, basically. Because that's the most, I think lunch is probably the most common area people go wrong.
It's most commonly skipped, hands down.
Yeah.
I think I've had clients who've been like, I just have breakfast and dinner. I don't eat in the day. I'm like, I'm hungry now and I ate 2 hours ago. So, you know, like...
It's so easy when you're out thinking, I'm hungry. I'm going to try and be healthy. Mm-hmm. Go into like Tesco or something. Oh, the really healthy stuff's like £3 more. I could just buy a bag of crisps, a meal deal, you know.
It's not made...
It's not bad.
No, but it's not made available to the majority of people. Why are people buying ultra-processed foods? It's cheap. Yeah. £3.50 for a meal deal to get a main, a snack, and a drink. Yeah. Bargain. Yeah. But if you want, like, for example, like the subs that they do, the really nice subs on whole grain bread with really freshly produced, near freshly produced produce, £5.
If you, this is going to end the debate because, you know, they say healthy food's more expensive. Right. It isn't. If you prepare in advance and you bulk buy, it actually works out roughly the same. Yeah. And it's 10 times better for you.
Well, this is the thing. You get some fresh bread.
Yeah.
So you get some fresh bread. You get some fresh lettuce. You get some like a gammon joint that you chop up.
Wait, potatoes.
Yeah.
Potatoes are so cheap.
Easy.
And they've actually got protein.
They do.
They've got some good protein.
Don't say that. My brain's going, ooh, what's the next video?
Big mashed potato. How much protein is 50 grams of protein in mashed potato?
That would be a good one. I like that. I'm actually just kind of an insider. I'm going to do a beef jerky one soon.
Oh, that'd be easy. That'd just be like a tiny bag of it.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. There's so much protein in it. I might actually go get it after this. But
you should do, because it will show your audience, like, you know, actually, I've shown you all this ridiculous stuff. Here's how you get it in a tiny amount.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's like chicken breast. Someone questioned me on my calculation the other day.
Really?
They're like, I swear 100 grams of chicken breast get 30 grams protein. I'm like, look on the screen. What have I just calculated? I've measured it out. Yeah. I've got the calculation off scanning the barcode and I've prepared it how it said. I cannot be any more accurate than this. It was like, 7 grams more. I was like, bruh, what are we doing here? Like, what's this conversation? And I literally said to myself,
that is a good rule of thumb though. I normally say that 100 gram chicken breast is normally 30 grams.
Depends where you get it from. Like if I went to the butcher's, I could probably get one for like 35 grams of protein because they're not heavily filled with water.
Organic will be more dense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Organic food is quite damn pricey as well if you're buying it organic. But marketing.
£6 for £3 worth of chicken. Yeah. It's like double, man.
Go Costco. Costco's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone out there does struggle with like getting food in or buying food, Costco's a shout.
Organic free-range chicken tastes better though.
I've never had organic.
Tastes better. I tried it once because I wanted to be fancy. It cost me like £9. But I had it and I was like, do you know what? It actually tastes better. I don't know if that's the placebo effect or whatever.
What in your head you were thinking this is going to be better because it's organic?
But I just remember it looks better, it cooked better, it tastes better. I was like, damn, yeah, this is good.
I do agree with you there. I do agree with you. But I think this has also led to us kind of like, what do we eat? Like, we're at a point now, like a lot of people are like, what do I eat? I've heard about aspartame. That's obviously flared up so much. They've gone back on themselves now, which I said the other day. But these big headlines are ruining people's persona with food. And the amount of people I've spoken to recently that have genuinely built up bad relationships with food, how do you think we're going to combat it? Like, how do you think us as coaches can eventually get around this?
It always comes down to education, right? But the problem is, like, you know, this has been an ongoing problem for the last, 50 to 100 years? Like, it's not going to go away. There's always going to be misinformation. Always. Yeah. There's always going to be people on social media saying something that's going to destroy relationship with food. I guess the cream rises to the top, and the people that are spouting out the knowledgeable stuff that's actually going to help most people, hopefully if they get prioritized to you know, rise amongst all of the other people talking, I think eventually you're going to have you know, good information being spouted out there. But it's not sexy.
No, it's not.
Like the basics of food is not sexy. Like talking about how, you know, yeah, okay, you can have donuts and stuff like that, but most of the time eat well, and then you have a pizza like once every 3 days. You know, have a donut one day, have chocolate in the evening, you know, but generally try and keep most things good. No one talks about that much. Not at least the people that you see that are famous.
Yeah.
It's always like, we're not famous, right? Not yet. But, you know, we're at that kind of level where we're trying to build it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're at the building stage of our business. But what I wanted to put in there is my big tip for anyone who struggles with their food is start with the association behind food. So this is my number one tip for if you are struggling with food and have a poor relationship with food. Yeah. We've got to stop the association of good, bad, junk, and healthy. This needs to kind of be abolished almost. Food needs to be seen as a fuel source. Different fuel sources have differing nutrient compounds, which makes them slightly more beneficial to the body than others. Everything you eat will have its benefit to the body. This is how we need to see things.
Well, I was walking past Tesco the other day, and they've got a big like painting on their wall, like whatever their branding is, saying that food is more than just fuel. And it's kind of true, and it's kind of not. Like, food is fuel. I think that's the way you should look at it. Like, food is fuel at the end of the day, and it's just some fuels are going to fuel you better. Some aren't, whatever. But it's also, food is a social thing. Mm-hmm. Like our ancestral tribes, they would have eaten together around the campfire, for example. I know it sounds very cliche, but they would have done it around social times. Obviously, people get hangry. And once they've eaten, they feel much calmer, and people are going to talk to them a bit easier. So food and socializing is actually very linked. Mm-hmm. So food is more than fuel. Yeah, you know, generally. Yeah. But that's where most of the problems come.
There's more to it than meets the eyes, and then I know there's a lot of people out there who probably struggle with their food association. And look, I feel for you guys. I really hope that we can help in that department. Again, we're not specialists in the area, but if someone needs to talk about this, I've been working with clients recently where I think Slimming World has had a big impact. Slimming World has had a big impact on how we view food. Don't talk about Slimming World. Like, the people that talk about sins and kind of what sins are, I was actually looking at, I've never seen the Slimming World app before, but I saw the Slimming World app the other week.
I've never seen it, but I've heard about it.
So the sin rule on it is, you know what, it is what it is. They give sins for stuff, again, mashed banana, not mashed banana, what do you do with your mouth? You chew it. But there was a sin in there that really confused me, and it was actually around alcohol-based foods, about alcohol-based beverages. So do you know that an ale contains more calories in it than a lager? Generally, across the board.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, actually.
An ale contains slightly more calories. Yeah. So the sins for a lager was 17. Okay. Now, normally you're only allowed 15 sins a day, but the sins for a lager was 17.
One takes you over
One takes you completely over. So they're trying to abolish that completely. Yeah. The sins for an ale was 15, but people would be more attracted to the ale because it has less sins, but they don't realize the calorific content of it. So if they're trying to lose weight, you'd be then consuming things that are technically lower sins, but higher in calories. So by the law of thermodynamics and how our bodies work, you wouldn't lose the weight, but you'd be under your sins. Yeah. So in your head, you're starting to associate that ale is actually healthier than lager because of the sin rule.
It's so annoying to me, man, because like in a way, like I've always seen those that try to lose fat, if they drink a lot, they don't lose fat very easily. Like, the general rule of thumb with alcohol is if you drink less and you'll lose more fat. I know that's not actually how it works, but like generally it does make it harder to lose fat. So in a way, it kind of good to see that they've put a lot of sins on that kind of thing, right? But damn, man, people thinking now, oh no, I'm trying to lose weight. I can't have just kind of like a de-stress alcohol like once a week. Like if the target's 15 and you have one beer, then you're over like in one day. It makes no sense to me. Why not a weekly target? You know, like a calorie target, for example. Why not have a weekly calorie target? Because then you're like, right, okay, I've had a beer. It's not the best for me. I know it has a lot of, factors that can make fat loss harder. However, I've had a stressful week, done really well with my diet. I'm only having 1 or 2 beers today. It's not the end of the world.
I think it is coming down to you never see a thin raging alcoholic.
You don't.
No, you never see a thin raging alcoholic,
That's why they call it
do
beer
you?
belly, mate.
Exactly. That's why the association's there. So think about the association and think about one beer isn't going to do that to you. One beer a day wouldn't do that to you. Nah. Like you'd have to be consuming a considerable amount to get to that point in time.
One beer might. Not maybe not for us because we're like maybe a bit more metabolically
a sedentary human
active.
A sedentary human.
But for the people that you often associate with gaining a lot of fat and they drink a lot of beer, I think one beer would be a bit too much for them over time.
You think so?
I think you do need a day or two.
Okay. You need that respite between. So for an inactive person, 1 beer a week.
Or middle-aged ladies with their red wine.
With their red wines,
Or a glass of red wine every night.
Yeah, I mean,
bottle.
there's options out there to drink. I think drinking, we've said about this before, it's a social activity. I enjoy it. Since coming back from Dublin, I feel like a bit of a raging alcoholic myself. But I enjoy my alcohol.
I thought you were going to go to a little Irish accent then. I was like, what are you?
No, I can't do that. I'm
a raging alcoholic too.
I'll butcher it. No, I feel like I enjoy my alcohol. Mol said this. She was like, you're enjoying your alcohol more. I'm like, yeah, because I think coming away from the deficit that I was in, I'm enjoying my calories more. I know that 200 calories out of, say, a 3,000 calorie a day that comes from alcohol is going to do me no harm. I've had 2,800 calories of really beneficial nutrient-dense calories. Yeah. And then a beer is not going to suddenly stall my progress.
At the end of the day, like, my relationship... I'm not an expert on relationship with food. Like I do find it confusing. I get confused sometimes. Not because I don't know what I know about dieting and stuff like that. It's just that it's confusing to know what to do to help people not falling in that trap of like having poor relationship with food. Mm-hmm. It's confusing because some of the things people are putting out there that seem really controversial are actually legitimate. Like there are, like, for example, seed oils. Yeah, they've been massively frowned upon, and there are a lot of reasons for that being bad for you. Like most seed oils can be really bad for you, but people aren't really being told why. They're just being told it's bad for you. Do this instead. That's the problem. There's no why behind things, and like I feel like people need the why. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you there. There's a lot of stuff out there that's not pushing things. I do want to go into one of the last topics that I've got, which. It comes, again, this is quite an emotional one. Jeez, this is quite an emotional pod. But my point was to be, most business problems are personal problems in disguise. Ooh. Yeah, they are. Yeah, most business-based problems or work-based problems are personal problems in disguise. If you're finding that the relationship you're having with your business, with your work life is dysfunctional, it's most likely because your personal life is dysfunctional. Yeah. And I can agree to a heavy degree there that when I've been studying, for example, at uni, this is slightly off tangent and trying to do my best with all of my work and my exams. When I was really going to town on going out, drinking, having a heavy time and not actually prioritizing my own personal life, it impacted my work life. Of course it does, because you're neglecting your personal attitude towards life, and the same applies to a business. For example, if a business owner comes in heavily stressed because of their kids running around everywhere, they're not able to meal prep, not eat the right foods, can't get the sleep they need, that reflects into the business. And then your business has these stress problems pop up in these little stress pockets that you almost have to extinguish with a fire, and you've got to find a way of doing it.
And there's a saying that a business cannot outgrow its leader.
Yeah.
So if the leader is having personal problems like that, and they're not able to say they've got self-doubt, they feel like they're a bit of an imposter in their business, they don't have what it takes to look after that business and grow it, then the business is very unlikely going to make steps forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I completely agree. I find this is more kind of we're entrepreneurs ourselves. We're really happy to be helping other people who are entrepreneurs at the minute. You've helped Dan who owns his own barbershop, hair salon. And
Sharky's
an entrepreneur. Rob's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I'm training 2 entrepreneurs at the minute. One who's a personal trainer herself. One who owns her own grazing company. So does catering and does loads of events in terms of like weddings, big festivals, stuff like that. And helping these people, one thing I have found is that social media makes entrepreneurship seem so much nicer than it is.
Oh, mate, it is not what it looks like on social media.
Entrepreneurship is lonely, it's frustrating, and it exploits you.
Yeah.
It does. It shows your weaknesses off so quickly. And I think a lot of us try to put a plaster over those weaknesses a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest personal growth journeys you can take, starting a business, because you'll just see all the problems you've got.
Yeah. It opens up a lot of wounds, doesn't it? And I think at the start, for me and you at the minute, we're very we're beginning to understand how to slowly cover up and close up these wounds bit by bit. Yeah. And it's opened up, this podcast has allowed us to open up so much, especially to each other about problems that we're having. I mean, you wouldn't have known about my claustrophobia, but these problems we're opening up about and speaking out into the open to kind of tell people it's okay.
This is why therapy is so useful.
This is basically therapy.
Basically, like, Impulsive, Logan Paul's podcast. He said it. I'm not saying I'm a big fan, but he said in one of his podcasts that he finds it relieving to talk about his issues and stuff on the podcast, and it helps a lot of people listening.
Yeah.
Obviously you're using it just to like talk about your problems all the time. It's different, but it's not always that case. Sometimes you're talking generally about how you feel about something, and it helps you to then formulate it yourself, mentally in here.
Yeah.
Starting a podcast has probably been one of the best things we could have done.
Yeah. I think as well for us, I mean, one of the big standbys that I have is failure creates growth. So every time, I mean, when we started, I had someone speak to me today and be like, they've watched the first episode of the podcast. And I sat there and in my head, I was like, oh my God, when we had our little mics in, sitting on the sofa. But if we think of it when we were doing it then, we were like, damn, this is sick. This is amazing. We've got like all the lights set up and everything. And then that failure from that, well, we did get like a lot of views on it. A lot of people watched it, but I think it's, again, first episode,
Always get support in the first one.
Yeah.
And then it starts to dwindle off. Like, mate, it happens, man. It is what it is.
We've got an amazing group of people at the minute who are watching these, and it does take years to get you where you want to be, and we will get there. I mean, we're looking at I think in a year's time, one of our big aspirations, we're going to do it. We want to get on stage. And
of course we're getting on stage, man.
One of the big targets for us is, I mean, I've got a couple of links into IFS, International Fitness Summit, for anyone who watches this. Yeah. Hopefully I can start weaving my way back into that web again. It may need some favors from my side of things, but if I need to do those to get on stage next year with you, we can do it.
I was thinking, like, I know I said to you, I know we talked about this briefly, but we are going to do an event at some point, a free event for people to turn up and actually learn something. We haven't decided what yet, because obviously we haven't talked about too much, but we want to do that anyway.
Yeah,
to be honest,
and get like guests in there as well. Like, I mean, if I know anyone who can come down for a weekend, we'll have a nice little piss up at the end of it where we meet everyone. Like, we'll sort out drinks. Obviously, we'll see where that goes.
Wait, we're sorting out drinks for everyone.
We'll order them, but
don't think we have the budget for that, man.
Nah, it's all right. We can sort it. Who knows? As I say, this podcast is going to take us far. We've got some big guests coming in. We've got Laura. We've got Lauren Tickner coming in. If anyone's Lauren, I'm happy to
Lauren Tickner's coming.
Yeah, I'm happy to disclose some of these names to people. We've got Noel as well. Noel is another gentleman.
That's the guy you showed me.
Noel, he's a yoga instructor, and he's got very interesting insight into the yoga industry and the spiritualness side of things. So we've got different pods coming in. We've got ladies coming on the show. Don't worry, it's not just a cock fest, as I said last time. So I think that's the end of the pod for us, though.
That's it. Thank you very much, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. But also, if you're listening to this on Spotify, a review really helps us. We've had 5 reviews so far, which is really good.
And all it is just pressing the stars. Like how many? It's literally that simple that you go on there, you press the stars. And look, 4 to 5 stars, we appreciate. If it's anything less than that, we want to know why you're giving like 1, 2, 3 stars. Message us and be like, this is why I'm giving this, because it does stay. And if there's just a 1-star review as a joke, Spotify doesn't let you take them down.
Don't joke.
No, like, unfortunately, if it was anything else, then but we really appreciate you guys. We're looking forward to the next, month coming up with pods. We'll get it. Have a cracking day, guys. We'll catch you later.